gonna introduce my next speaker now, who is incredible, and I'm sure you're gonna enjoy her a lot. I'm gonna introduce Donna Benton to please come on screen. I hear from the team that she's already live with us. So Donna, if you can please come on screen while I introduce you. Donna is the founder and CEO of The Entertainer, joining us from Dubai. Hi, Donna. It's so nice to
How
see
are you?
you. And Donna has played a pivotal role in the success of The Entertainer, uh, expanding it to 15 countries, selling it, and then rejoining it as its CEO. Donna then went to found the Benton Group and another company, Caja Capo. Donna, incredible to have you. It's so nice to see you again. All right, Donna, welcome.
Thank you, Lubna, and lovely to be here with you all.
Thank you so much. So my first question is, how do you do all of that as a
I
mom?
know. That's the magic question, right? I think it's organization. I think I've done it for so long that you just have to be really organized. You have to have a balance. You have to execute well, and you have to have a good team around you at the same time. And you also have to have boundaries. So I think being organized and balanced and a good team is pretty much my recipe.
I love that. And did you find building all of this came at the cost of your mental health?
To be honest, no, I'm actually quite a positive person. And look, everybody suffers some mental health somewhere, whether it's stress, anxiety, sleepless nights, whatever we want to do. It's actually, I believe we all suffer it. It's actually how you deal with it. That's actually the key. So yes, have I been through times when my mental health is stretched? Of course I have, as we all have, but it's how you do with it. And I'm actually, people call me, I'm actually the unrealistic optimistic. So I really try and keep positive where I can.
I love that. And in one of the videos that we showcased for you, you advise entrepreneurs and leaders to do what they love. So
Mhm.
essentially to be aligned with their purpose. If we had the magic wand, we're writing a book after this event, we're summarizing the talks. Um, if we had a magic wand for you to define purpose, how would you define that? Is there a formula for you, or is there a sentence that for you defines purpose?
Yeah, look, I think if we all had the formula, we'd bottle it up and sell it. But
I'm
look, for
gonna
me,
do that, by the way.
yeah. For me, the magic wand, that define, look, there's different ways you can look at it. Where
Mm,
I evolve in my Donna world, for my purpose is actually peace and quiet. Because I'm always around people, and you're always thinking, when you've got your own businesses and you're running huge teams, your brain is busy all the time. So when you actually get some time out, whether you're on holiday on a deck chair, if you're running on a treadmill, you're actually in your own head with nobody else around. So for me, my magic wand to define my purpose would actually be some peace and quiet.
I love that. One of the things that we say about purpose is it's really, really important to, when you step into your purpose, to tune into your most recurring pain and double down
Mm.
and solve that for yourself first and foremost, and then to go and solve that for others. Uh, what do you think of that as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, look, I'm not that whole spiritual person really that goes so deep into things. I think it might have sliding steps to get to that, where you might think of something to do and there's a barrier because of something that's happened in your past life or earlier years or childhood or whatever it may be. But again, I think we all have things, and it's actually how you get around them, how you get over them. And a big, huge part of getting over anything is talking. It's communication. One issue I think a lot of CEOs have is it's hard to speak to people because you can't. There's nobody higher than to speak to, and you don't want to speak to your staff and things about your issues. So I think it's finding the right person and just really venting, really getting that wing woman or wing man or whoever it may be, and whatever you're going through, it's really just about talking it through. If you keep everything inside of you, it just builds up and builds up, and it's really not healthy for you.
I agree. I agree.
Mm.
Love that. You played a pivotal role in scaling The Entertainer. What
Yes.
advice do you have for any entrepreneurs in the room who want to scale. And how do you do that in a way where you're managing your employees' well-being as you scale? Because that comes with a lot of pressure.
Yeah, no, it does. And look, as a business, you always want growth. People are not in business to break even. They want growth, and that comes with stress. It comes with managing staff. And one of the biggest things as an entrepreneur is actually you love what you do, and that's why you start it. And it's managing staff. That would be because it becomes your job in the end, until you have HR departments and things, but you're actually responsible for everybody there. So you have to, company culture is critical within a company. You have to have, as a company, you evolve. You have to have the right people on the bus, in the right seat. And then the problem is the bus keeps changing, the seats keep changing, and you have to balance all of that. You have to understand your colleagues. That's one big thing. You have to understand the triggers for them. You have to have empathy. There can't be any egos also in any senior management positions. You've got to have empathy. You've got to ask questions, and you have to understand your staff, what they know, what triggers them. Do they have family? Do they not? Do they look sad today? Do they not? Do they like money as a promotion? Do they like days in lieu? What sort of floats their boat? But yeah, you just have to really understand and sympathize with people at the same time, I think. And again, generally everybody has something going on in their life. It just depends on the amount of things, and a lot of people are very good at covering up things, and it's actually your job as a leader not just to worry about the EBITDA and the P&L. It's actually your job, because your staff are your human capital at the same time, and you have to really love and nurture them, and they need to celebrate the wins with you, and they also need to be nurtured by you.
I love that. And I think, totally agree with that, because I think
Company culture is really important to me. And I think being a woman as well, and having kids, and, I'm a single mom, and we have issues. And so it's just really understanding everything from different levels, not just the high level, it's different levels.
And I think that's a perfect segue into the next question. They asked Sam Altman from OpenAI about the one key thing that every entrepreneur needs in order to go on their journey. And he mentioned resilience. And I love that word, because when I remember you, like, we always remember people with one word. If there's one word that for me defines Donna or reminds me of Donna, it would be resilience. So if you had to choose a word for another entrepreneur other than resilience, or maybe you may insist on resilience, I don't know, what would you say?
Yeah, no. I think if I had one word where people succeed in business, it's actually work ethic. Because with work ethic comes resilience, comes energy, comes purpose, everything surrounds it. You can have a great idea, you can, I don't know, have all the foundations, but if you don't have that work ethic, you're going nowhere very, very fast. Even if you've got millions and millions of dollars and you employ a team, and you don't have work ethic, then there's no respect. So work ethic for me is really, really important, and that's where everything stems into it.
I love
Because
that.
it's tough. It's tough.
It's so hard. I can relate, and it is really hard to start a business and to
It is.
you know,
And as you all know, I don't know who's got their own businesses, etc. out there, but a lot of new businesses fail. You've got to, as I say, you've got to get back on that horse. You've got to keep on going. You don't take no for an answer until you know it's really no. And you've really got to back yourself, Luna. If you don't back yourself, then you can't expect other people to back you.
Absolutely. And the stats show that 9 out of 10 startups fail. So that's a
A
huge
lot.
number. That's a huge number.
Yeah, and you can have the best idea in the world, but if you don't execute it properly and you don't work at it, then it also fails.
Absolutely. Well, our idea, or our magic idea, is to find a formula and sell a formula for purpose, and I'm going to do it very soon. And you're going to
Wow, that would be amazing.
test it
Everybody
with
would
you.
buy the formula. Unfortunately, I don't think one size fits all. That's the problem.
We are creating, after this conference, a mental health advisory committee, because we're celebrating World Mental Health Awareness Day tomorrow. And that
Yes,
committee is
yes.
going to involve all sectors of society. It's going to involve the media, the private sector, the non-government sector, all sectors. If you had one recommendation for any of these sectors or for them collectively that you'd like them to embody after this conference, what would you say that one recommendation is?
I would probably go with 3 steps.
Okay.
So for me, as if I was on the board, I would be ask questions and listen to your staff. That's the first one. Ask them questions and listen to actually what they're telling you, because listening is learning. Then once you've done that, then it's empathize. You've got to have empathy. You've got to empathize with them. You've got to find the solution. And then whatever their issue is, then you have to execute it. Don't give false promises. You can listen. You have to follow through with everything. So for me, it would be, asking questions / listening, empathize, and then execute.
And I think that that's a really important point because I see so many companies. I've been around a lot of corporates and they do a lot of employee surveys and they do pretend to listen, but that's all they do. They just do a survey and they don't do anything with that survey after, right? So the question is,
Exactly.
how do we make sure that these companies are not paying lip service because that's all they're doing?
Well, unfortunately, that's the employee's choice if they want to stay or not. Everybody has options to stay or to go. And you've really got to find the right employer that you feel comfortable with. And sometimes it's not all about money, it's also about benefits. Do you like your people? Actually don't leave companies, they leave managers. And you have to get that right fit for you on which business or which company suits your profile.
I love that.
Mm.
One, and I'm being told that we have a lot of, or a few questions from the audience. So I'll ask you,
Yeah,
just play a game with you if that's okay, like I did with the other
sure.
speakers.
We love a game.
Love a game. We're trying to spice things up. So it's a, either or, and just basically very quick questions, fireside style. Is that okay?
No problem. Hit me with
Uh,
it, Lubna.
All right. So your favorite quote?
Oh, it's one from my dad. He taught me very young. Tough times come and go, tough people last forever.
Oh, I love that so, so, so much. Oh my God. I love that.
Yeah.
Your favorite movie?
Oh, I've got so many favorite movies. Let's go with Braveheart.
Braveheart. I love that.
Braveheart's one of my favorites.
And your favorite song?
Oh, I've got to say, I'm quite a big fan of J-Lo. So
Yeah.
maybe a J-Lo song, maybe. I like all music. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I like all sort of boppy, dancey, happy music.
Okay, amazing. And if you had to choose between purpose and profit, which one, and you could only live by one, which one would you choose?
It would be purpose,
And you would
because you
choose,
have to love what you do.
and even if you are guided by purpose, but you're not making money out of your purpose.
Yeah, but if you love what you do, you will make money.
Ah, I love
If you
that.
do it properly, you will. You've got to love what you do first, the money will come. But if you're all about the money, then there's no purpose and you won't make money.
Ah, I love that. Okay,
Because that's
wonderful.
greed.
And if you had to choose between an extra hour of sleep and an extra hour of doing something you love, what would you choose?
To be honest, I would actually choose an extra hour sleep, because those who know me very well, I believe sleep cures everything. If you have a good night's sleep, you're fresh the next morning. You can't do anything at 3 a.m. in the morning, so you may as well get the sleep and be fresh the next day. So you still have a lot of hours in the day to do what you love. So mine will be an extra hour's sleep.
Amazing. And maybe my last question, and then we'll open it up to others. If you could talk to either your 8-year-old self or your 80-year-old self, which one would you choose and what would you say?
Sorry, which one? My 80-year-old self?
8 or 80, because these are the two people that
Oh,
we
8 or
really need
80.
to make proud. Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. The before or after. If I could speak to my 8-year-old self now, it would be my 8-year-old self. And I would actually tell her not to change anything, because you wouldn't be where you are today if you did.
Oh, I had goosebumps. Amazing.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
that was
you.
beautiful. Thank you so much, Dana. I'm really grateful for your time and your presence and for supporting this and supporting, you're all here as speakers supporting us because of the GoFundMe campaign that we started. So I'm really, really happy that you are here and that you gifted us with your presence. I'm gonna
Oh, my
transition.
pleasure.
I'm gonna transition now to Nadine, who's gonna bring a few people
Yes.
on screen to ask their questions. Thank you so much,
All
Donna.
right.
Hi, Donna. Thank you for your
Hi.
positivity. I have a question. How can we stay positive and forecast in this environment we have in the Middle East?
I know it's a tough one. Look, you have to, that's a hard one because I'm not so political, but I think you have to try and separate everything what's going on, because there's a thing of staying positive for work, and then the emotion side on personal comes in at the same time. So I believe that you need to separate both of them. And on a work point of view, you have to stay positive in the form of, your mental health, whether that be exercise, talking to people, sleep, whatever. You've got to find your formula. And look, on a personal side, it's, your heart goes out to everybody. You've got to have the empathy, and you really just have to, say your prayers every day of just, I hope everything's okay. And I hope the world comes back to where it is as soon as possible.
Hopefully, yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you very much, Hiba. And I'm going to move over to Amandeep. If you please accept us, yes. Thank you very much, Amandeep. We've got maybe one more question if after Amandeep, if that is okay with you, Donna. If
Yeah,
you've got time
sure,
for...
no problem.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay, Amandeep, if I can ask you also to please introduce yourself, where you're dialing in from, and take it off.
Yeah. Morning, Donna. Hi, everyone.
Morning. How are you? It's your good morning. It's my good night, Nelly.
I'm based in Vaughan, so it is morning for me.
Enjoy. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you. And I loved your quote, like tough time never lasts, tough people do. And
sometimes tough times come and go, tough people love.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, like, when you are on journey of getting started up with things and you meet people whom you can take mentorship and guidance for what you want to do. And I wanted to know what is polite and rational way of seeking that mentorship and guidance, considering that people have all their own commitments. Someone like you who is occupied into too many things, you want to sound rational, but at the same time, you want their mentorship and guidance.
You mean you want some mentorship and guidance, and how do you ask for it from somebody?
Yes.
So look, I think that's where you sort of have to sell yourself in a little bit. I think you need to find sort of maybe 3 or 4 people that you would like to mentor, or that firstly, you need to find the people who you look up to, or that you get inspired by, or who you would learn from. Now that also doesn't need to be entrepreneur, CEO. It could be it could be a management position. It could be, because you can also have corporate entrepreneurs at the same time that climb the ranks and want security. So look, at the end of the day, I think you just have to either write an email, you have to pick up a phone. Some managers or entrepreneurs or CEOs, we generally like high level, and we like directness. We don't like fluff. We don't like, oh, can you do this because, oh, God, blah, blah, blah. They like straight to the point. They like the why and the how. So it would really just be being just really honest with them. I know you're really busy, but please, I would just love 1 or 2 sessions from you. And I would really appreciate that. I need half an hour of your time, because I really respect you, and, and that you sort of, it's a bit of a sales pitch at the same time, and that's what you really just need to do. I have a lot of people that do that to me. And when I've got time, I would say to them, look, I can, but it can only be once or twice, because I've got a lot of other commitments. Or some people just want to be a one-off and want advice or jump on a phone. So look, to give back a little bit as a successful person or a CEO doesn't really cost them anything, but to the other person, it means the world. And you just have to find the right person to do that,
So I have to be clear with what I want, how they can help, and maybe the time they might need to put in, like, say, a session or 2 whenever they have the availability, right?
Yeah, very clear, high level as well. Also the understanding that they're busy and you appreciate that, and that you really only need sort of 20 or 30 minutes of their time. And once you've actually met them the first time and you can gel, then I'm sure they'll want to do it again.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much, Mandeep, for sharing that question with the audience. And I believe I see a hand raised here, Mark Garrett, and I will try to promote him to panelist, but it seems like he is not. All right. Okay, well, maybe I can ask one more question from the chat. We have Sarah asking, when you show empathy to your staff, that's great, but what is the limit? Aren't you worried if you are too kind, they start slacking off work? This sounds like a common problem I see.
Yeah. Okay. So I can only speak from my own experience, but for me as a boss, I'm fair, firm, but fun. So you can have empathy, you have to have empathy, but there's a certain amount of empathy. You have empathy as a colleague, but when it becomes the fine line of friendship or getting into their family, then you really need to potentially cut that off. If they're coming to you for too much, you can suggest, depending on the issue, maybe a therapist to go and see to. You might have your HR department. Depending on how big the company is, you might have somebody in-house to go and speak to somebody. So look, there has to be boundaries where you give empathy. Look, I don't know, it might be someone can't afford something or they're suffering, and you might give, I don't know, a day out to the family. But when it becomes an expectation rather than appreciation, then it has to stop. There has to be a level. And look, to be honest, only the person, the CEO or the person giving the advice can really clock that. And it's also, if it's too time consuming and you're running, you know, in the Entertainer, we have 300 staff. In another one of my companies, F&B, we have 5,000 staff. So, you know, with the 5,000 staff company, you can't have people that are draining all the time with your time. You can be empathetic, you can put them onto people, you can understand their situation, and you're executing that decision. But again, if it becomes an expectation, non-appreciation, then you sort of have to change your way about it.
Okay, well, Donna, thank you so much. We're so happy to have had you. Thank you for the gift of your presence. I wish you a nice evening in Dubai. And I will
Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for having me, and enjoy the rest of the conference, guys.